Going back to 1995 for this one, Selena, the singer, the Tejano music superstar, who was just entering the English music world at that time with the hit Dreaming of You and huge record sales, violently murdered in a hotel room by the president and her confidant, the president of her fan club, Yolanda Saldívar. She has been in prison now for the last 30 years. And, when you think somebody's going away for life, you think it's like forever. Well, that's not always the case. And in our system, that is certainly not happening here either. She's going to be up for parole. Is she going to get it? That's a big question. That's up for debate. Joining me to discuss, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI special agent, chief of the counterintelligence behavioral analysis program. This is a woman who was very hated, still is very hated by a lot of people. I think getting out poses quite a liability on its own. But I don't know. She had good behavior. She really hasn't been a bad prisoner, so to speak, all these years. But what she did, even though she still says it was an accident, very unforgivable by most. What's your thoughts on the possibility of second chance?
Well, legally, yeah, I see the possibility here because of our system. I'm going to throw my personal opinion in here. I don't think someone like this should be allowed to be paroled. I mean, you took a life, you did
Yeah.
it violently, without remorse. The defense that she had, as I reread it up again, was bogus. I mean, but most importantly, we got to do, and it hasn't come out yet. Victim statements.
Yeah.
It's really, to me, these things are always up to the family. Legal system, yes. Family needs to weigh in on this, and those affected because, too often they are ignored, I think. And I think the family really needs to be the ones that are the go no go on this.
Mhm.
And if she's eligible because of our system, that's one thing. But if the family says she shouldn't be let out, then that's what they should listen to.
If this wasn't such a high profile case, would there be higher likelihood that she would be released because no one's paying attention? This one, a lot of people are paying attention.
Yeah, probably because the court of public opinion weighs in on everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And there's lots of arguments that we see the arguments. She's under a death threat inside the system, and she's got a lot of haters on the outside. She still took a life to me,
Yeah.
violently,
Yeah.
wrongfully, and she needs to be held to lifelong accountability for that. And in rehabilitation, boy, that's a fun word, isn't it?
Hmm.
She has good behavior in prison. Well, because she wasn't given an opportunity to kill anyone in prison either,
Yeah.
was she?
Yeah.
I just you rehab someone from drugs, you rehab someone from alcohol. There's two things I really wonder about rehab. First of all, sexual predators and child predators, they're never rehabbed. That is a broken toy. That is a broken brain going on right there. And someone that reaches the level, again, I'm not a licensed psychologist or a psychiatrist, but when you reach that level of violence and willing to do violence on others in your life and kill someone and take a life in that manner in which you did, I'm dubious about rehab.
It kind of feels like if you're capable of doing that, you're capable of doing that. And I think some
Yeah.
people are and some people aren't, or are only capable in like a life threatening type situation. If you're just kind of doing it by choice and you're not being threatened, there's something that's not working right up there. And I don't know that that's a switch you can ever really flip back.
And the other thing too, y- a big reason why we put people in prison is for the individuals that committed the crime, but also for society at large, to show that there's really, really, really consequential actions for your bad actions.
Mhm.
And so people don't have long memories. They're not so here's a potential, again, thought experiment. So here's a potential person that's got a lot of rage towards someone, and they're thinking about murdering someone because of the actions that they took. They got their wound collectors, and so they're gonna act on this rage and vengeance. And now, one day they're thinking to myself, "Oh man, I'll be put away for my life. I don't want to spend my life in prison." But now they look at this case, and say, "Oh, look, she got out after 30 years." They're not thinking the 30 years lost it. They're zeroing in on as a rationalization,
Mhm.
but they got out. I could actually kill this person, and even if I don't get away with it, I can probably get away with it because they're that kind of narcissistic person. They're thinking to themselves, I could probably be paroled on it. If I make it look just right, I could be paroled on this. And so they're not thinking I've lost 30 years. They're saying I can be paroled because of this. I'm not liking it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way that people will look at things going, is it worth it? Is it worth it to me?
Hmm.
Is it worth the 20 years or the 10 years or whatever that they'd likely get if it was looked at as, not first degree murder, or it was manslaughter, or it was accident, whatever. Yeah, they'll look at it that way. I mean, a strange analogy I'll make here, and I was just kind of joking that I was walking into Kohl's, the department store, and there was a sign that said $50, no smoking in store, $50 fine. And I thought, well, if you have a lot of money and you're a real asshole, just walk around the store with 50s and just smoke away. Like, here's the fine, go away. And just, okay, I'll pay the fine. And it's that sort of thing where it's like, I'm good for it. Cool. I want to smoke right
Yeah.
now. It's like, if you're in that mindset and you're like, I'll do it because to me, it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a liker of the every time we cover a case where a parole comes up on someone who's actually a murderer, I cringe because I don't think it's good. It's to me it always sends a bad message. It depends on the case. We have the
Mhm.
Menendez brothers, which is a different kind of case there, but when you have, cold-blooded vengeance, from in Selena's murder, someone needs to pay a longer price, I think. But again, let's see what the family says.
Yeah.
I think that's what matters
And that's
most.
what's going to happen next. The Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles initiated this review back in October, and it includes compiling the case file, the recommendation letter from Salvador, an interview with her, and any letters submitted from Selena's family. So
Yep.
they're going to take a look at all that stuff and then make a decision on where this goes. I'm going to guess no, but I guess we'll see. I think that they're probably she probably has a better chance at life or a longer life behind bars than she does outside, would be my
Yeah,
take.
you're used to it now. You've been there for 30 years. Why not keep it going?
And there's a bounty, I probably on her on the outside as well. I would imagine for something like that.
Yes.
So, hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Bruschi, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.